Welcome to +One, the series where each month I look at the free games on PlayStation Plus and tell you if they're worth the download. After all, the games may be free, but your time is valuable. Today we're looking at both of the PS Vita games for January, Uncanny Valley and Psycho-Pass Mandatory Happiness. Uncanny Valley is a 2015 horror game made by indie developer Cowardly Creations. You play as Tom, a security guard at an abandoned robotics facility, and your job is to tour the upper floors for your shift every night, then go back to your apartment and sleep, and rinse and repeat. You control Tom in a 2D side-scrolling plane, and the game takes heavy inspiration from the old Clock Tower games, among others. During your shift, you can read emails, piece together vague puzzles, or just listen to audio tapes sprinkled throughout the area to spoil the game's main twist well before that twist even happens. You can also explore the apartment facility, talk to a few other characters, and make choices you don't even know that you can make that heavily affect the plot. You know what, let's just get this out of the way. This has to be the most poorly explained game I have ever seen on PS Plus. There are multiple paths and endings, but there's practically no way for you to know how to get to each ending or that you're even making choices until after they're made and you've already screwed up. I had no idea that I was supposed to repair the apartment's generator until after my partner went to do it for me and got himself killed. I accidentally walked my way into the game's bad ending because Uncanny Valley hides puzzles in tense sink-or-swim situations that directly contradict previous puzzles. There's almost no game logic here, it's just random. The spooky moments, like the nightmare sequences that happen when Tom falls asleep, are pretty solid. The visuals are surprisingly descriptive for a game with this basic pixelized style, and the atmosphere itself is simultaneously interesting and frightening, but it stumbles at every possible step. They couldn't even get the text right. It's such a bad, handmade pixel font that's so hard to read, and the dialogue is read line by line, with each and every line only having 5 or 6 words on it. God, I'm sorry, but don't even give this one a shot unless you're a massive Clock Tower fan, and even then, just go play Clock Tower instead. Psycho-Pass Mandatory Happiness is a visual novel based in the world of the Psycho-Pass anime. From the bit I played, thankfully it doesn't seem like you need to watch the anime to understand what's going on here. And obviously, I have zero experience with this series, so my opinions are purely based on what I'm seeing here. The game is set in a dystopian Japan in the 22nd century, where technology essentially determines your entire life. By analyzing your brain chemistry, it's automatically determined for you what job you should take, where you should live, and even in some cases, whether or not you're likely to commit crimes. If your emotional state, called a hue, is a darker color, you're seen as a potential criminal and can be arrested even before you've committed any crimes. According to the research I did in the show, this is played up as a major theme. Is it ethical to preemptively charge somebody for something they may not even do? What about if they're not in their standard mental state? Say they're stressed from a bad day at work. That doesn't mean that they're going to kill that day. In Mandatory Happiness, however, this is mostly skimmed over. You can choose to play as one of 2 officers in the CID, the task force that focuses on these potential criminals. From there, you work on several cases, interact with several characters from the show, and that's it. Interact should be in quotes there, because the game is, again, a visual novel. You read, that's it. Every now and then you can make a choice on where to look for a suspect or how to go about the case, but these don't seem to matter one bit, really. The concepts behind the story are interesting and surprisingly dark when you think about it, but I really can't recommend this one either. If you're a big fan of the series, I don't know if several hours of reading is going to live up to the show itself, and if you're not a big fan of the series, well, it's still several hours of reading thrown over some static images. I would rather just have the physical book. If you're interested in either game and the free period has ended, you can buy Uncanny Valley for $12.99 and Psycho-Pass for $40. You can pretty consistently find the former game on Steam for $1, so yeah, I would just get it there if you're really that interested. They're both smaller files too, so you really don't have to worry too much about the download size. Also, can we talk about how a game that's literally just a book is at least twice the price of an actual book? That just seems ridiculous. What do you think about either of this month's free Vita games? Let me know down in the comments below. And don't forget that even though I'm sick while recording this, you can't catch whatever I have, but what you can catch is more PS Plus reviews and more if you subscribe. That wasn't even on my script, I just made that up. I'm kind of proud of that one.